Does anyone know what time it is? This is the question Jesus was asking his disciples. Jesus was referring to times in the history of mankind. And like most of his teachings, he used a parable. Since many of them were fishermen, he compared their ability to tell the weather with the ability to know the time in history. Can you tell time? Christ has told us that he will return. But before his return, the wicked one will return. We need to know when. In Matthew 16, verses 1 through 4, we hear Jesus' words. The Pharisees also with the Sadducees came and desired him that he would show them a sign from heaven. He answered and said unto them, When it is evening, you say, It will be fair weather, for the sky is red. And in the morning it will be foul weather today, for the sky is red and lowering. O ye hypocrites, ye can discern the face of the sky, but ye cannot discern the signs of the time. A wicked and adulterous generation seeketh after a sign, and there shall be no sign given unto it, but the sign of the prophet Jonas. He left them and departed. Let's go sailing. Did you know that learning to sail in Nevada is one of the best places on earth to sail? Texas is in second place. I do. Why, you might ask? It's because the weather in Nevada is unpredictable, ever-changing. The mountains in the state ensure forever changing condition. It changes in an instant. I know. I learned to sail in northern Nevada. A good sailor needs to be in tune with nature, and God created nature. He has to be able to respond to it in an instant. A good disciple, like a good fisherman, needs to be able to understand the mind of the fish and of men. Nature belongs to God. We belong to God. The wind powers the sailboat. A sailor needs to understand the wind. It is a lot like God. You see the effects of the wind, but you don't see the wind. Perhaps some of you have faced God. Most only see the effects. Whether disciple or sailor, be acutely aware of the times. To sail, you need to find the wind. The earth, sea, moon, and river and ocean currents affect the wind. One of the reasons I enjoy sailing is that when I sail, I am in God's nature. Looking for the wind is like looking for God. It seldom happens you actually see God face to face. Instead, you see the effects he creates on everything he touches. You need to be alive and awake to everything around you. When you see a tree bending in the wind, you are not seeing the wind, only the effects of the wind. But because you don't see it, you do believe the wind is not there. Of course not. The wind high above the water is generally stronger than the wind just on the surface of the water. That is why fast sailing vessels have high sails. They catch more wind. When you are in a boat near the water, you want to have eyes and ears at the highest point of the ship. That's why most sailboats have flags at the top of the masts. Sailors use these flags to estimate speed, wind, and direction. But, of course, beware of storms. Your ship can capsize. This is true in life as well. Can you foretell the future? As with most things, it's much easier to understand history when we look backward, but much more difficult when looking forward. First, as human, we hope that we can learn from history. As Ecclesiastes 1:9 tells us, there is nothing new under the sun. What's happened before will happen again. Second, we should discern from Christian maturity what is happening around us each moment. What flags do we observe in our life in discerning the times? This is similar to the lesson on sailing, involving careful observation, meditation, prayer, and the application of Christian principles to everyday living. This grows our faith, the basis of our salvation. As humans, we must discern, not judge. Third, we should learn from the prophets. We know that God is faithful and never changing. He keeps his promises. Christ's coming was foretold nearly 1,000 years before he actually came. Many forgot or chose not to believe. Of all the prophets, the one we should believe most is Christ himself. Here is what Jesus said in 3 of the 4 Gospels, almost word for word. Matthew 24:32 through 35, Mark 13:28 through 31, and Luke 21, verses 29 through 33. Now learn a parable of the fig tree. When his branch is yet tender and putteth forth leaves, ye know that summer is nigh. So likewise ye, when ye shall see these things, know that it is near, even at the doors. Verily I say unto you, this generation shall not pass till all these things be fulfilled. Heaven and earth shall pass away, but my words shall not pass away. We will know when Christ returns when we answer 2 questions. First, when will we see the fig tree put forth leaves, as described here? And 2, how long is a generation? What is the fig tree that Christ is referring to? What does it stand for? In Hosea 9 verse 10 we read, I found Israel like finding grapes in the desert. I saw your fathers as the first stripe in the fig tree at her first time, that they went to Baal Peor and separated themselves into that shame, and their abominations were according as they loved. It is clear that the nation of Israel is the fig tree. Let's look at another scripture. Luke 13 verses 6 through 9. He spoke also this parable, this is Christ. A certain man had a fig tree planted in his vineyard, and he came and sought fruit thereon, and found none. Then he said unto the dresser of his vineyard, Behold, these 3 years I come seeking fruit on this fig tree, and find none. Cut it down, why cumbereth it the ground? And he answered, saying unto him, Lord, let it alone this year also, till I shall dig about it and dung it. And if it bear fruit, well, and if not, then after that thou shalt cut it down. Yes, the fig tree is Israel. It is clear that the fig tree represents Israel. In 70 AD, the temple was destroyed and the Jews lost their home. Israel, the country, was no more. But in 1948, after World War II, Israel, the fig tree, became a nation again. We are living in the generation of the fig tree today. What does this mean? Well, think about it. We must be ready for the hour of temptation, while we know that Antichrist is about to come. Be prepared for him before Christ returns. The time is now. Well, the only thing left is, how long is a generation? The Bible describes 3 possible generations. One possible length is 40 years, the generation of Moses and his followers wandering in the wilderness. Since this would bring us to 1988, this time frame has already expired. This can't be right. A second possible length is 70 or 80 years, as described in Psalm 90, verse 10. The days of our years are 80 years and 10, and if by reason of strength they be 80 years, yet is their strength labor and sorrow, for it is soon cut off, and we fly away. We are coming very close to this time frame. A third possible length is 120 years, described in Genesis 6, verse 3. And the Lord said, My spirit shall not always strive with man, for that he is also flesh, yet his days shall be 120 years. Well, however you measure it, we are at the end of time. We are in the generation of the fig tree. So what you say? Let me paraphrase Christ's answer from Luke 21, verses 8 through 24. Many will come claiming to be me. Do not be deceived. Do not follow them. Nation will rise against nation, kingdom against kingdom, earthquakes, famines, pestilence, fearful events. They will lay hands on you and persecute you because you use my name. Be prepared to defend yourself. I, Christ, will give you the words to say. You will be betrayed by family, even put to death, but stand firm. Watch the area of Jerusalem and know the desolator, Satan, and Jesus are about to appear. As we watch current events, what do we see? The events described in Luke 21. On the religious front, church attendance is on the decline in the United States. Children cannot pray in school. Our Pledge of Allegiance is being challenged with the words, under God. Same-sex marriages and homosexuality are becoming generally accepted. In the local front, our democratic way of life is being threatened with lower turnouts for voting every year. God himself is being attacked by our government. Iran, North Korea, Russia, Ukraine are being rebels in the world community. Radical Islam is on the rise, killing innocents in the name of Allah. Killing innocents in the name of Allah. Mass murders are occurring with increased regularity in our world. Consider Columbine and other stories where parents murder and starve their own children. Are we going insane? On the global weather front, we have a plethora of hurricanes, tsunamis, and earthquakes. Hurricane Dean was a level 5 hurricane. Others are coming. All signs point to the upcoming time of tribulation as described in the Bible. So what must we do in these times? First, we must be biblically literate. Remember that Christ said in Mark 13:23, I have told you everything ahead of time. Learn the lessons of the saints. This fortifies your faith. The most important thing you must know as Christians is that Satan will return before Christ. The time of tribulation comes before the return of Christ. As a Christian, discernment is critical. How can you test a person's faith or lack of it? Christ tells us, look for the fruit. Luke 13, verses 6 through 9. So what time is it for us? What do you discern about Trinity United Methodist Church? Should we be afraid? Of course not. Do we know what to do? Be diligent. When Martin Luther talks about time, he has only 2 time frames, today and the day he meets Christ for eternity. There are no other times. What are you going to do today?